Voice focus on personal development, health, education, life choice, relationship. Also, we host Holistic African Market. For more information, you can contact Brother Dougie on 0788-240-3871. I repeat, 0788-240-3871. Also, you can catch us on YouTube. Type in Brother Dougie, find your voice. Also, every Tuesday on SLR Radio from 10:30 p.m. You can tune into slrradio.co.uk. So, inside the host, we do have Ras Mckoy, who is a philosopher. He's an artist. He's a speaker. Very wise individual, and very humble. And he'll be speaking about what is consciousness. So he's going to open up some cans of worms, I suppose, and go into depth. So he'll be speaking for nearly half an hour, and then open up some question and answer for at least about 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah? But the question is, no, do you want to hear from our elder? Oh. Do you want to hear from our elder? Wait, he must have some serious fan club inside this place here. Open mind, open heart, please welcome Ras Mckoy to the front. Come on, give him a clap. Yeah. All right.
Greetings. Yes, we just want to lively up the place with a little chant, you know? So I would like you to repeat after me. Bob Marley used them lines at all. Lightning, and I want you to say it with some energy, yeah? Lightning. Brimstone. Fire. All right, now. So we want to drive out all week out conception. Yeah, drive them out of creation and bring in positive vibration into the mix. One love, one heart. Let's get together now and make you feel all right. So we're going into consciousness now. So let's start the program. One, two, there. It can't focus no better than that. Yeah, there. All right. Yeah. Okay. Gonna speak about consciousness. Next. And my name is Ras Mckoy. And we're gonna talk about what is consciousness. Next. So consciousness is defined by the dictionary as a noun. Next. Yeah. And they say it's a state of being aware and responsive to one's surroundings. Next. So they use an expression that she failed to regain consciousness and died days later. And you can use awareness, wakefulness, alertness, responsiveness, and sentient in replace of that consciousness. So that was one. Secondly, them say a person's awareness or perception of something, right? And they also say, give you how it can be used, an acute consciousness of Luke's presence. Yeah, so you can probably know you have an acute awareness of my presence in the room now. So there we go. Okay, this is the normal dictionary definition, but this is where we start to go deep into consciousness now. There's no as all the mystics see it. Next. Yeah, so consciousness is universal. An individual have consciousness and group also have consciousness. Yeah? So as is defined by the diagram there. Next. Yeah, so consciousness is infinite. It pervades space and time and the infiniteness of the universe. It has no beginning and it has no end. So most people is within a limited them always limited by concepts and belief and alpha and omega and them kind of thing there. Well, consciousness, like the universe, has no beginning and it has no end. It's infinite. Yeah, so most people cannot grasp this because they cannot understand the infinity of things. Next. So we say consciousness is in everything and everything is in consciousness. So in order for the universe to exist as how we know it, it needed consciousness. Yeah? Continue. Yeah? So we say here now, it is both the builder. So building the universe as we know it, which you say is from an infinite time. Yeah? It is the builder. So it is the one who do all the work in the background. And it's also the building block because it's in every part of the building block. It's also the mastermind, the whole idea behind it, behind everything. It is the mastermind. And it's also the masterpiece because it's in everything within the masterpiece. Next. It is knowledge. So every knowledge that you gain, every knowledge that exists, consciousness allow it to exist. Just like also understanding and the wisdom that you have acquired. Yeah? Even the foolish people have consciousness. The ignorant and the foolish people, them have consciousness. So are you with me so far? All right, good. Well, I hear you, because if you're not with me, then I waste my time. So it is autonomic. It's an autonomic system. That means it works in the background. So whilst we are doing, and whilst I'm here talking, my heart is beating, consciousness is beating it in the background, my blood is flowing, but I don't personally aware of it, just like most of you at most of the time. Yeah? Next. So we can go back into the conception model here, and we say, this blue here represent the infinity of the universal consciousness and the universe. Next. And we say consciousness is in everything. So them say a picture paint 1,000 words. Next. Yeah, and everything is in consciousness. So we are in consciousness and consciousness is in us. Yeah? So we need to be aware of that. Because you see what most people, they talk about consciousness, but them don't really understand what consciousness is from the mystic point of view. They might have a little idea, the dictionary point of view, but they don't understand from the mystic point of view. Next. So we have individual consciousness. And next, and we have group consciousness. Like how we are here today as a group of people listening to I speak of consciousness. So there's a group thing. So we're working together here. And even the universe is a group within itself, but it is the ultimate group. Yeah? So, next. So consciousness provides for all things regardless. So it doesn't matter, just like the rain. When the rain falls, it falls upon everybody's house. It doesn't care whether you're rich or you're poor, or whether you're strong or you're weak. It falls upon your house. Yeah? But some people now, when the rain falls, them don't collect the water. So when drought come now, them start ball for water, just like the Jamaican government who are celebrating Independence Day today. Yeah? The British left them with 2 dams, what them building in the 40s and 50s, and a population of about 180,000, around about them figure there. And them not build no more dams since. And them claim so the official population is in excess of 660,000. And them I use the same amount of water, plus sediment coming out of the dam, that means the less water can hold in the dam. So if we're not thinking in a conscious way, We want to say a simple thing like building 3 or 4 more dams to give the people them water. You understand? All right, continue. So we say consciousness is I. That is the individual I, which we spoke of earlier. And consciousness, next, is I and I, like the Rasta man said. So just like how we talk about consciousness and is everything and everything is in consciousness, the Rasta man say I and I, because I is the individual I and the whole thing is the universal I. So it's I and I and I and I and I and all the I's. Yeah? One love. Next. So even though it contains the you and me, so consciousness contains the you and me people, them same way. The you and me people, them are the selfish people. Them can't understand the concept of I and I because they want to live within a selfish way. Not as a self, but as a selfish way. You understand? So they want things and don't want you to forget nothing. Not realizing, say, the I and the I is the same. So if them did understand, say, the I and the I is the same, they would have known to share and care for one another. Blessed. Continue. Consciousness embraces all things, but not everyone is aware of its hug. So consciousness is with us all the time, but we are not aware of it. And we are not aware of how kind it is to us. You understand? It provides life, it provides our skin, our eyes, and all these things. It provides our enjoyment, even our sadness. But sometimes them say sadness is for a reason. But we won't go into that now. We just continue with the program. Yeah. So students of quantum theory now say all particles are the same. No. These little pirates, them come up with a new thing called quantum theory. You understand? So people has been saying that for thousands and thousands of years. But as a true pirate, them come up and I say, all thing is one. And I pretend now, say, I feel them idea. But we know that for thousands of years. Long before them talk about quantum theory. You understand? So the mystic them did know that all the while, and every culture did know that everything was one for thousands of years. Continue. The same student them believe, say, matter isn't really solid. So from long time, the mystic them did know that. Long time, man did say man could have walked through wall and all these things. And it's possible to do that because when you reach the heights of the heights of consciousness, anything is possible. Absolutely, anything is possible. Continue. Universal consciousness is the sum of all individual consciousness. It therefore gives credence to the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Now, say for instance, you can build a car, so you go to the part shop. When you go to the part shop, you buy all the parts that you need to make a car. And you go back to your garage and you lay it out on the floor. And when you lay it out on the floor now, you set everything in order and put everything together. And you turn on the engine and it goes boom, boom. And then you put in a gear and it drives. Now there's something in that car that never exists when it was those parts that was laying on the ground. And this is called intrinsic energy. And when the car is moving, it's called intrinsic motion. So life has come into the car because of the way it is put together, the combustion of the engine and so on. So you see that there's something else there that when the parts was on the floor wasn't there. Intrinsic energy is there. Life is now there. Blessed. So individual and universal consciousness imprint themselves on each other because essentially they are one. We can't stop repeating this about consciousness because everything is consciousness. Consciousness is everywhere in everything and we are in consciousness. So consciousness will imprint itself on us. But we, like the dictionary say, have to be aware and responsive to it. Continue. This is something the me and you people cannot understand. Because the me and you people do not like unity, do not like consciousness. Continue. Consciousness is our most fundamental experience. Yeah? Next. So our every moment that we exist, every moment that everything exists is because of consciousness. Yeah? Next. Our every movement, every step we take, every move we make is because of consciousness. Yeah? Next. Next. Press it again. Yeah, every thought process also is because of consciousness. And in most cases now, the majority of the work of consciousness is in the background. Yeah, it operates, don't go so fast. It operates in the background, yeah? So, and it does this whether we are aware of it or not. Next. So we say individual consciousness allow us to be aware of our own experiences and decipher the inner self and the outer world. So, all are you seeing me? Where are you seeing me from? Yeah. Technically, you are seeing me from inside yourself. Like him say, Ed. You are seeing me from here. You see me. All of your body have intelligence. Yeah? So you are seeing me from within. Nothing is out here. All of it is within your head. You understand? But because of perception, you will believe that I am out here. The light there shines so bright. Oh, your light. Okay. Next. This is done through the 5 physical senses and the many metaphysical senses that we possess and are gathered through the nervous system and the metaphysical conduits and is stored and processed by the brain and the rest of the body. So consciousness involves all of our senses. And we're going to break that down in a minute. Next. Yeah? So because the physical senses is said that it is said that the brain is the unseeable energy, the soft state, or in a computer them call it software, that defines our reality and allow us to perceive knowledge, understanding, and to gain wisdom. Next. How we perceive consciousness? We perceive consciousness is not really most, but a lot of it is gained via the brain through our physical senses. Next. Our main physical sense is the eye. That is the sense where we use and gather information mostly. Yeah, next. Then we use hearing, continue, feeling, smell, and taste. Yeah? So we use all of these senses, and this is the area that them say revolve around those senses. Next. Yeah? So them say smell is the frontal lobe, hearing is the temporal lobe, parietal lobe is touch and taste, and the occipital lobe is which one did miss out? Hearing, taste, vision, sight. Yeah. So yeah, change. So that's where it's at. So the nervous system, including the brain, allow the physical body to experience the outside world as well as regulate our autonomic function. So like we said earlier, we experience everything within ourselves. Yeah, and also the autonomic function control our blood supply and our heartbeat, our breathe. And it do all of the things in the background for us. Continue. So our ancestral genes and environmental factors will define how we look and behave. Yeah? So how we shape or even our own thought patterns can come from hereditary as well as environmental factors. Hence, we can say that hereditary factor play an important part in our everyday experience. And later on, we'll explain that. Continue. So a combination of the genetic codes, right, which is hereditary, plus environmental factors are responsible for our identity and our culture. Yeah? Which in turn is the result of our individual, family, or group consciousness. Continue. Then we have metaphysical senses, of which there are many. I only name a few here now, yeah? So, yeah. So, you see, the metaphysical senses, the guy now who we that talk about, him a scientist and them people, them can't really understand that part. So, because there are people who like to measure things, and you can't measure them things. You understand? Mathematics can't work it out, and no tool where you go get can measure these things, metaphysical senses, yeah? So we have things like retrocognition, which is glimpses into the past. So this is how powerful our connection is with consciousness and the universe. We can see into the past. We can also see into the future. This is called clairvoyance or premonition. Now you may be stepping on a bus, and one man say, you know, so I don't go on the bus there. I not go on the bus there. I go wait for the next bus. And you wait for the next bus, and you go on the bus. And while driving down the road, you see next bus turn over. Them call that premonition. You got an insight that, you know, for the another bus there. You understand? So at this, what them can measure with them instrument. Yeah? Them can measure it. Then we have telepathy, which is mental communication. You know, the physical people, them build iPhone and computers and Skype and them thing there. But really, we are capable of far more than that. If we develop our communication system through mental process and mental thought, we can communicate anywhere at any time without no microwave or poison way and these things. We have the most advanced system available. You understand? But we're not using it properly. Yeah? Next. So our awareness defines our reality. So if we're just using our five senses, we're very limited. Our reality, or we see reality, will be very limited. But once we start tap into these metaphysical senses, some of them just appear at times, but they can be developed. You can actually do exercises to develop these, and people do. And then how you see reality will be different to how the man who I use, or woman who I use just her five senses see reality. You will see a broader picture. You will see it in higher definition, much higher definition than the other person. Yeah, continue. So we're going to ask a question. After consciousness reaches us, we're going to ask ourselves, who am I? That's the first thing you have to ask yourself. You have to get to know yourself. You have to get familiar with yourself. Yeah? Because if you don't get familiar with yourself, if you don't know yourself, you can't really know anyone else. If you don't love yourself, you can't love no one else. It may appear that you love somebody else, but it doesn't really exist. And then you can ask yourself, what's my purpose? Because Consciousness have a reason for you to be here, but you need to realize that. You need to find out what your purpose is. Everybody is born with a gift, and you need to find out what that gift is and exploit it. I don't mean in a negative sense. Get the best out of what that gift is. So some people, they might get a gift to play football, but they don't like football, but that's a gift. They might want to go do something else. But I would suggest to them that them should play the football, earn some money with it, and then do what them think them like. You understand? Yeah. So, continue. And then we can ask ourselves, is what we see in real? All this thing before we. How do we know we are not in a dream? Because when we're in a dream, we actually believe it's real. You understand? It's when you wake up now, you find out, you're there in a different dimension, in a different reality. But whilst in the dream, you actually think, it live and kick in. And it is real. The dream is real. But it's just a different dimension of reality. You understand? Blessed. Next. So we say mind exercises clear and strengthen the mind, just like physical exercises can strengthen the body. Yeah? You can close the door there for me, please. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, next. No. Yeah, all right. Yeah. We have mantras, which is words like what Jammers did at top. So this is word sound now. Mantras is words that you can use, like the famous Indian word what the Indian use and other people use from creation is Om. Yeah? So that will bring you into a state of internal awareness and link you up more with your subconscious mind. There's different ways that people use it, different mind. It's for you to try them out and find out which one you relate to better or which one relate to you better. Yeah? So it's up for you to go and find out the mantras. Next. So we have chanting. Chanting is like mostly singing and yeah. So the Rasta man have theme chant and him chant, you know. Yeah, so him say, Black Liberation Day, Black Liberation Day. Oh, what a great day when Africans are free. So I saw the Rasta man chant when him there in Bingi, him have whole heap of different things that the Rasta man do and chant and bring out that inner power within him and that feeling. Yeah? Other cultures have their own ways and their own methods as well. And it's for each one, them can experiment and find out where they are at, you know. Then we have, next, we have mindfulness. Your mindfulness is a very serious exercise, for want of a better word. Mindfulness is like watching how you step. You be conscious of how you move. Be conscious of what you're hearing. So first you focus on one thing, and as you develop that, you move on and move on. You're passing away, so oh, that tree, okay. Next time you pass it, you say, oh yeah, that tree, 7 leaf, it have panda branch there. And so on and so forth. So you become mindful of things. This is a very powerful exercise. Yeah. Next. And we have meditation. Now, all these before, in some sense, have some elements of meditation within it. Yeah, because it allows you to go into a more connective state of consciousness. But not yet. But meditation allows you to go very, very deep. Yeah, according to which one you do and how still you can make the mind. Yeah. So you can cleanse all the bad karma. So all the things them that you're doing in the past, when you meditate, you can clean them out of your system. You can purify yourself with meditation. Likewise, you can clean your DNA because we did talk about ancestry earlier. Well, the ancestry them give you shape of your nose, give you shape of your ears, give you shape of how your body look and all them things there. And some of them give you sickle cell. Some of them give you diabetes and high blood pressure, yes. Yeah, diabetes and high blood pressure and so on. So, meditation can clean out them things there. You understand? So, depend on how high you're going on meditation. It depends on how deep you can clean out this. The stiller you can make the body and the stiller you can make the mind is the more power you gain. Next. And then we have prayers. Now, prayers is questionable because prayers is depending most of the time on an external force. It's not within yourself. It's not an inner look. It's an external look. So it will go deep, because them say believe, kill, and believe, cure. But it won't go where this one take you. Now, these other two have elements. Some people chant to external in the mantra and the chanting too. But when you go within yourself and bring out the consciousness within yourself and connect with the universal consciousness, that is the heights of the heights of the heights. Next. So, mind exercise, focus and bring calm and inner peace. Yeah? Thus liberating us from our minds from excessive desires and stress. So, in the modern world that we live now, we have to find some time, even 5 or 10 minutes a day, to give to ourselves, to connect with ourselves. You understand? We need to connect with ourselves. So, we must give ourselves some time, to meditate or to chant or just to raise your vibration and raise your consciousness. Yeah, next. So scientists say that our mind is inside our head, right? That are the brain that we talk about. But every part of our body is consciousness. Yeah, each and every cell is sovereign. So suppose now a man working on a machine and him hand get chopped off. And someone is mindful enough to take up the arm and put it on ice and preserve it and take him to the hospital, and luckily a microsurgeon is there and sew it on back. And after a while, him hand can be used again. So while the arm was severed, it had intelligence in it. It had consciousness in it. It never died. And when it gets reunited again, it communicates. The communication might not be as strong as before, but communication can continue to exist. Because in every cell, in every atomic particle, every subatomic particle, there is consciousness. Continue. So we just have a few more minutes, yeah? So we say consciousness is life, and in this dimension, life feeds upon itself. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is the way this reality is. Life feeds upon itself. So Sadhguru him say, if we eat a banana, it becomes part of us. Yeah, that means when the lion eat the antelope become part of the lion. You understand? So the antelope now turn into something different. It becomes the lion. And so that's how this reality is there. Life feed upon life. That's why we sure say everything is one. Because if everything was one, then the antelope couldn't turn into a lion. It become food to the lion, and the lion process it and continue film existence. Unfortunate, the antelope energy get dispersed into some other form. But that is how this existence is. Next. So we have a stage like all we that talk about the lion and the antelope, what we call fight, flight. So we call it fight and flight. But really and truly it's true because some people freeze. Some people actually freeze. So this mode is a fear mode, yeah? And when we are in this mode, more than likely our heart beat is going to raise. So it means there is some effect upon our body, not just upon our mind, but upon our body. Our heart level will start beat, our breath will more than likely get more rapid and all these things. Yeah. Next. So we also say that love now, we talked about the heartbeat a while ago, is related to the heart. So from time immemorial, people have related love to the heart. So you see the sign of a heart like that where everybody used to represent love. Also, there's a heart center which is in the center of your torso, which is right here, which represent the fourth chakra, which they call the heart center as well, because heart also means center. So within the center of here, there's a chakra or an energy point, a wheel that controls energy, either boost it or bring it down and regulate energy. And this also deals with love and these vibrations. Next. So traditional Chinese medicine and Greek medicine and others consider that different organs are associated with different emotion. Yeah? So continue, the time kind of, yeah? So continue again. Traditional Chinese medicine say joy is related to the heart, liver is related to anger, lungs, oh, you go too fast. yeah, lungs is related to anxiety and grief, worry and overthinking to the spleen, and fear and flight to the kidney. Yeah? So that's just a little tip there. Yeah, next. So Chinese medicine use this. Back to Sadhguru now. Sadhguru say, if our body become pleasant, we call it health. If it become very pleasant, we call it pleasure. Next. So we are defined the various different part of ourselves, yeah? So him say if the mind become pleasant, we call it peace. If it become very pleasant, we call it joy. Sorry, I don't have time to illustrate all of these to you, but so it go. Next. So if our emotions, because these are part of us as well, become pleasant, we call it love. If it become very pleasant, we call it compassion. Next. If our very energy become pleasant, we call it bliss. And if it become very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. And finally, him say, if our surrounding become pleasant, we call it success. So if things around us, like we wear good clothing, have good car, and them things, that people refer to that as success. Overstay upon time, Dougie. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a much larger lecture, you know. This is about a third of the way of the lecture, you know, because deep consciousness is like if we did have all of the ink in the oceans and rivers and lakes of the world, we still wouldn't have enough ink to write about consciousness. Because, like we say, consciousness is everything. But, you know, we have to limit it there because of time factors
Okay.
and so on. So I hope you enjoy that so far.
Okay, give Ras Mckoy a
Huh?
clap. What we're going to do, just 2 questions, yeah, because we do have Melvin Barry will be speaking very shortly. And if we got a burning question or anything they want to, okay, my brother. Who's that, Bob? All right, Bob.
Thanks very much, Ras Mckoy.
Yes,
sir.
greetings, yes.
Do you think there's a difference between consciousness and the self?
No, like I said earlier, you know,
Uh,
consciousness is in everything and everything is in consciousness. So you couldn't exist without consciousness because consciousness is what make up your fabric and it inside of you are direct everything. So yes, you can say consciousness is self, but only within as an individual. Yeah? And when you connect up now, you and the universe connect up. And then the universe becomes yourself as well. So yes, you could say that, but you have to know the way in which you are saying that. Because you can't say it and it don't mean the connection there, if you understand what I mean. Yeah, so it have to have that connection, knowing that is I, and I understand that fully. Then you make the connection there. Yes?
Hi, thank you so much. I just want to find out about prayer and meditation. I used to pray, but now I don't pray anymore.
Yeah.
I do meditation more.
Yeah.
So could you explain deeper about meditation and prayer, please?
Well, like I said earlier, prayer is a cry to someone else for more time you beg somebody something, like you beg God something or some kind of request you ask for. Yeah, so it's a begging process most of the time. Yeah, so you are not going within yourself, true self, and liberating your mind, right? Because the process of meditation, yeah, is liberation. So when you really can meditate properly, you liberate the whole of your body and your mind. Yeah, because some people call it body, mind. Some people call it mind, body, and soul. Some people call it mind, body, and spirit. But the self, you will liberate yourselves when you meditate. Yeah, there's various ways of meditating. You know, there's many right ways of doing things and many wrong ways of doing things. But you can choose one that you can try out a few, and the one that really gives you that inner feeling, yeah, because it's a feeling, yeah, not like touch feeling, you know, but an inner feeling to conquer your emotions, to conquer your thoughts, to conquer even how your blood flow. Because the great yogis and them people, they can slow down them heart. Them can do great feats with them meditation and the mind, yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah. Yes, I. I'm
Eh?
here, I'm here, I'm here.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
To be grounded, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have, I think you're supposed to like no shoes to like connect?
Yeah, well, you see, that is grounding to the earth, right? So the people talk about the earth and heaven.
Yeah.
Heaven is just a representation of outside the earth, yeah? But to be grounded to the earth now, remember, so we have positive and negative energy. So everything is work off of yin and yang. So because everything work off of yin and yang, you have to grounded. Yeah?
that means
So
you
your
have to be-
feet grounded, yeah.
No shoes.
That's the best way, because you never born with clothes. Yeah? Right? So,
Connect, yeah.
yeah. So, when you're connected to the earth, you take up the earth vibration. And then now, when you reach the top now, at the top of the meditation, you reach a place that them call samadhi, or what the Buddhists call nirvana. And then now, you connect to the heaven fully. And that are the connection we are talking about, the I and the I. So you have two connections. So the two poles, which is the earth and the heaven. Yeah. That answer the question. Bless up, bless up.
Okay, then we're gonna bring this to a close now. Big up to Ras Mckoy. Please give him a clap. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right, all right. Yes.
Okay.